Hello and good afternoon. This is Neil with Simpler Futures, and it is Monday, April the 24th. The kickoff to what's going to be an exciting week. If you can think of a big, large cap favorite name that's probably reporting this week, 42% of the S&P 500 is set to report this week. And it really starts largely tomorrow. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, starting with Microsoft tomorrow. And that's important because I believe that the market has a tendency to kind of hold firm in front of that name and a couple others too, like Apple in particular. Used to be Facebook and Amazon, maybe not quite as much, so much anymore, but certainly Microsoft. And so tomorrow we get Microsoft and Google, Visa, and a whole host of other names. Raytheon, I imagine they're going to report well. Halliburton, Archer Daniels Midland, 3M. These all sound good to me. Pepsi, UPS, JetBlue, the airlines have been doing pretty well. So that's tomorrow. Then Wednesday we get into Facebook and Roku, and some of those are okay, maybe some not so much. Norfolk Southern also on Wednesday, which is a little worrisome. And then Boeing, though, and General Dynamics, I would imagine those would be pretty good. Then Thursday is Amazon, Intel, Pinterest, Activision, a bunch of big names: Honeywell, Hershey, Northrop, NOC, Northrop, just Amgen, a lot of big names. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So, all right. I'll go to a daily chart in a minute, but on a daily chart, what we're going to see is since about April the 3rd, we entered into a range that's about 100 points wide in the S&P from 41 to 4,200. Now, if you remember last week, I was looking for a little higher than 42, but it never did. It went to 95 during the day and 98.5 in a Globex session. And that's important, too, because anytime in the past we've seen a Globex session print a higher high than the RTH high, the market's gone back up to reconcile that. And I kind of anticipate that again. But so what I did was, as you can see here on screen, if you look at the date range, you'll see the date range if I put on the left over here, you see the date range there is April the 3rd through today. Now this is a volume scope. You could do a TPO also, probably should do a TPO as well, but this is a volume study. And while we're balanced in that range of 41 by 4,200, the most traded price right in the middle is 53.5. You could argue anywhere from 50 to 55 because you see these protruding HVNs that are just almost as long as the 53 halves, but you got 50 all the way up to 55, centered 53 half right there. So call it, 53.4 or something is the point of control balance for that entire range. It was also today's ending VWAP. It's tomorrow's pivot. It's pretty much probably going to be tomorrow's over-under. We'll give it maybe a little bit of wiggle room, barely below, but not much, like 45 or something like that, just below. That's that we're going to ask to hold as support. By the way, last week, that's not on this screen right now. I can get it. Well, let me get it for you. You've already seen this one. So last week's value area was 45 by 75. We traded down and found 45 today. Traded down and ticked it, basically. A higher low than the prior session low, and held this value area low. So we're now back into the point of control, which we just discussed. And so we'll be looking for a test up to value area high, like tomorrow. I'll be looking for that tomorrow. That's up at 75, maybe even tonight. But what I'm saying is I'm bullish, okay? And maybe not Wednesday with the names that are reporting Wednesday, like for a little back and fill midweek shuffle low Wednesday with Facebook and Roku, Teladoc and eBay and, you know, I mean, some of those names don't excite me as much as then what's after that with Amazon and Snapchat, Intel, Pinterest, Activision, etc. Those are good again. So I'm bullish. The numbers that I'll be looking for, plus or minus, about 60 again on this week from the center at 55. I'm going to look back for my last week's bull targets again this week. You know, first and foremost, primarily will be a higher high over last week's high. Don't know that I'm right. I mean, of course, there's room to be wrong, but that's what I'm looking for. And it'll either be right or wrong. If in the event this thing does break, then anything below 4,100 gets kind of ugly. 4,100's been the support for the last 3 weeks. If it cracks, then it could get ugly. And it trades 75 lower back to 40 and a quarter. And that trades the SPX back to 4,000 even, and that cleans up some weak structure below. And so certainly that could happen. But what we know right now is that 4,100 is support, and it has been, and we're above last week and this whole big profiles value area low back into point of control, and so I'm looking to value area high and above. And specifically on timing, I would have tomorrow Tuesday as being bullish in front of Microsoft. Wednesday's iffy with Facebook and Roku and all that. But then Thursday is good again with Amazon and Snap and Intel, Pinterest, Activision. There's more too. Caterpillar, American Airlines, MasterCard, Lilly, Domino's, Valero, Merck. All these sound good to me. Southwest Airlines, Honeywell, that sounds good. Hershey. This is a good time of year to buy Hershey, by the way. So Keurig, Dr. Pepper, Southern Company. I mean, the list goes on as to the ones that I'm looking that I think look like they're probably pretty good. Up or down, we shall see. 4,100 has been support. One day it will fail. I don't know when, but when it does, then it's back to 40 and a quarter in the ES, which is 4,000 in the SPX. We'll clean up some weak structure below gaps and whatnot, and then start the bid back again to the upside after cleaning up below. Whenever that happens, I don't know. But when the break comes and we clean up those gaps and stuff below, then I want to start filling some long-oriented SPX butterflies, call flies, that kind of thing into June, that kind of time frame. Day by day, right? Day by day. And right now, it looks like it's still okay, pretty decent, sort of / good to me. So I'm going to go with it until it stops working. So I'll be with you again midweek. We'll take another look at it and see what things look like. Until then, wish you good trading.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency.
It's one of the things that won me